Hey there, welcome to NZ Money Karma, where you can find freedom from the daily grind through budgeting, simple living, and adventure. We're at the end of February, and I thought something that would be really good to do today would be to go through what we've actually spent in February. So you guys see me budget my money normally it would be every fortnight. Recently, it's been this entire quarter, which, you've heard me say heaps of times is a bit of a nightmare, not enjoying it at all. But what I'm going to be doing today is going through and showing you what we actually spend. So we obviously have our cash envelopes, but we also have sinking funds online. And sometimes we're rejigging what we have. So it's not just, I might have $100 in one envelope, but if I need that envelope and it's 110, I'm taking that 10 from somewhere else. So just to give you a really clear idea of what we actually spend in our household, I thought we'd go through, the back end of it, not the budgeting, but the end result of that budgeting, what we're ending up spending. And this is in all our different household categories. So everything from, health and beauty through to paying the bills, how much is our gas bill, that kind of stuff. So, okie doke, so let's go and we'll walk around the house and I'll show you what we've spent. Come with me. Here we go. These are the first two things I've bought. Well, maybe they weren't chronologically the first two things I bought, but these are the first two things I'm going to show you. So I've got some vitamin C tablets there. They were $22, and this little aromatherapy diffuser, it's meant to be a humidifier and a diffuser, that was $20 from Kmart. So I bought those in response to my daughter having a really bad cough. I just wanted to dose her up on vitamin C. Oranges and lemon and honey drinks weren't doing the trick. I'm doing it like trying to get a therapeutic dose. And the little diffuser that has some aromatherapy, cold and flu essential oils. And that goes in there and I put that on at night. And that seems just to soothe that cough a little bit. And it prevents me from having to get up multiple times to boil hot water. Because before that I was actually getting up and giving her like a steam bath. So this seems to work well. So that's the first two things I bought. Next was a Metro card top up. Put $10 on this. That's the minimum I think you're allowed to put onto a Metro card, but it was down to about $1. Fees, I think, have recently gone up on the bus. We're not using it as much now the kids are back at school, so they ride their bikes to school. I ride my bike to work. My husband works from home. But my son and husband do go out and watch some rugby games sometimes, and they catch the bus there. So that's when we needed to top that up. Following close on the heels of the bus pass is petrol, but we actually haven't filled up our car in February. We would have done that at the very end of January, and I haven't filled it up since. We don't use it that much, but we do use it when we go away for long weekends. So nothing to add in the petrol department this month. Out into the garage now. I'm not sure what this thing is called. This thing that the chain goes around on. We bought a new one of those, and we then gave someone a koha donation to help us fit it because we didn't know how to get it on and we didn't have the right tools. So that cog thing, sorry, I don't know the name, was $57, and then we paid $30 for someone to help us to fit it. So all up, $87 there on bike-related things. And then while I'm here in the garage, I'll just jump in underneath this extension cord. There we go, we've got some new leather gloves. They were just gloves from Bunnings, and they came to $12.98, and my husband got those because his old ones had holes in them, and he had wood to stack. So the wood isn't in this month's budget because I had already paid for that way back in July or August last year. That's half of our wood, so he's got another half to stack. We spent $63.55 on getting the kids new socks, so they both got quite a few pairs of new socks. Before that they were all going to holes. They were in desperate need of those, so that was cool. My husband took the kids out and did that. Apparently there was a red dot sale at Farmers. We've kind of gone for medium quality, I guess. They're Bond socks. Hopefully they'll last longer than the month. And $4.90 got us a new pair of shoelaces for those black shoes. It's been really good going through and doing this as an exercise, because whilst I've always been quite a good budgeter and, pretty careful with our money, I've not traditionally been a really good budget tracker. So once I've put it aside, I haven't really noticed or taken much notice of where it ends up, as long as I haven't gone over the amount that I thought I wanted to spend. So that's been really good. This one here, this is the beginning of a birthday present. It's $9.68. And it's some little nail files and nail clippers. I'm going to go and get some nail polish as well. When I was in the shop, I just couldn't remember what was a nail polish brand that wasn't tested on animals. It's not something I buy very often, but this is going in as part of a birthday gift. And I didn't know it off the top of my head, so I had to come home so I could look it up. I think Rimmel of London is what it's called. They don't test on animals, so that's what I'm going to go back and get a couple of cute colours, some nail polish remover, and that'll make one part of my daughter's upcoming birthday present. Did I tell you that? I did tell you the cost for that, $9.68 for that birthday stuff. We have our food spend also for the month. That's come in at $490.99. That also includes a $100 Pack and Save Christmas Club card. So I've joined the Christmas Club for the first time ever, and I just want to see how much I get at the end of the year for that. So that cost me $100, and that's come out of this month's budget. So $490.99 all up, or $390.99 if we take away the Pack and Save Christmas Club. The other thing though I have spent that I have no evidence of to show you today, let's have a look up there. That's what we've got so far. We spent $42 on movie tickets, and that was cool. We went and saw Bridget Jones's Diary. Loved it. It was so funny. I cried, I laughed, I cried, I laughed the whole way through. It was a real, it was really, really cool. So if you like Bridget Jones, I definitely recommend doing that. There are plenty of other seemingly random things that we've spent money on. So one thing is the computer here. We didn't need to spend money on the computer per se, but I did get something called Safe Surfer. So I bought Safe Surfer as a way to keep the kids safe online. I'm kind of a bit late to the party. I wish I'd found it a year ago when they both got laptops for school. I haven't found the school kind of protection to be all that crash hot, like for what I would consider as okay. Maybe what the school considers okay is quite different. So that cost me, what was it all up? The first part was $64.49. That was to protect my daughter's phone when she bought it, and I've recently upgraded so it can protect it can protect our server and individual devices, and that was another $131.96. There are tons of other things we have purchased over the course of this month, the month of February, and I don't have a prop for them. So I thought rather than just me tell you about it, I'm going to let you know here. So number one, we spent oops, you can't see that. We spent $171 on Air New Zealand flights. And we did that because we have paid for a relative to come and visit us here in Christchurch, and that's how much the return flight was from where she lives. I've told you about the movie tickets. What else did we do? We had $25 worth of gelato. Gosh, gelato's expensive, but it's good. So that was I can't even remember where we did that. We did it because I've got it on my FPOS card, so I know I paid for it. I spent $22 on pizza one evening. That was for me and my daughter while my son and husband were out at a rugby game. They already have those tickets. That was something they got for Christmas, so that's not something that's been paid for out of this month's budget. We bought tickets for $98.80 to a rugby league game. We haven't been yet, but we've paid for that. We spent $1.50 at St. Vinny's on a book. And what else have we done? My husband's had 3 physio appointments at $35 each. And the other thing we have that we don't have kind of any evidence of, two more things we have that we don't really have evidence of is we've got kids' sport fees. That came to $115 this month, and we bought fish and chips, and that was $8.60. So if you're in New Zealand, you'll be saying, oh my goodness, you cannot get fish and chips for $8.60, and you are correct. What I mean by fish and chips is the fish and chip shop, but that is just chips. So we've bought a couple of scoops of chips one evening just to make our dinner really easily. Okay, come with me and we'll go and have a look at the rest of the stuff that we've been spending money on this month. For the month of February, we have spent $171.87 on both our power bill and our internet. We're with Slingshot, and those two things come in the same bill for us. Gift of light is not cheap. I've got $15.10 that I spent on seeds. So I've got Brussels sprouts, broccoli and cabbage. I don't often grow things from seed. I feel like I don't have huge amount of success, but it's something I need to get better at, and the only way you get better at it is by doing it, right? So that's where I've spent $15.10. And then there's $278. That's the cost of these two big tanks of gas. This is how we heat our hot water. We use one of those a month, pretty much. The reason why I've paid twice in February is because one of those tanks would have been for an earlier supply, and I've just paid it on the 1st of February, and the other one is for a later supply. This is one of the things I want to change this year, gas. I'm not a massive fan of gas for heating hot water. I don't know, there's lots of problems with gas, isn't there? And it's a real pain also having these tanks and having to swap them over. And it's also really expensive. These are going up from the 1st of March, we've been told. I think it's about a 10% increase again. So I'm looking at getting a hot water cylinder that is kind of built on heat pump technology. I've looked into solar. I don't think we spend enough money on our kind of electricity in order to warrant having a solar system. It would just take us decades and decades to pay back, or kind of break even. I'd rather just try and use less of it. So that's where we're at. And my single biggest spend for the month is for the house, for the rates. So that's what we pay our council. And we own our own home, lock, stock and barrel. We have no mortgage, but we do still have to pay money to the council each quarter in order to live here. And that pays for things like local roads, libraries, swimming pools, parks, as well as a whole lot of other stuff that I don't really rate. But those are the things I like that it pays for, so those are the things I think about. And that's $1,286, and that was due in February. So that's what we spent this month in our whare, in our house. That's everything. That's everything online, everything from my cash envelopes. I've gone through all my receipts. I've gone through all my online information. So I'm pretty solid that that's what February cost us. So if we look at Feb and go, okay, we allocated for our quarter, for the quarter January, February, March, we allocated $10,000. So a third of that is going to be $3,333.33. So how much of that have we spent in this particular month? So we can spend $3,333.33 each month, and we will be within our budget. So that's our $40,000 a year budget. I aim to spend the 52, but I want to use that 12 on something exciting. Keep in mind, we also have sinking funds that we contribute to all the time out of this $10,000, but there's some money in those sinking funds left over from other years where we haven't used it all. So it's not going to be just 40,000. Sometimes we're going to go over, but it means we wouldn't have spent more than 40,000 this year. So let's see, how did I do this month in sticking to the 3,333? Give me a second and I'll work it out. Okay, so that comes to $3,291.58. That's what my family of four has spent in the month of February. So the budgeted amount is $3,333.33. So let's just see quickly. I'm just scraping under there. So 333.33 minus 3291.58. So that's $41.75, in theory surplus. It's not really a surplus because that will just be in a sinking fund or it will be in my change jar, that kind of thing. So no money's gone to waste. I haven't accounted for the money that's gone into the change jar. That's just what's left over in cash. But I'm pretty solid on this amount, 3291.58 for our family of 4. So if I do that, 3291.58 divided by 4, that's $822.90 that we're spending per person per month. Not so bad. So I hope that was useful for you guys. Please feel free to drop me a comment below if you've, are you tracking your spending? How are you compared to what you're budgeting? Are you on track or off track? I'd love to hear about it. Otherwise, I look forward to catching up with you guys next time. Bye for now.